Welcome to The Adaptable Octopus, a podcast hosted by Blair Riggs. Through honest and heartfelt storytelling, Blair shares her experiences navigating life with cerebral palsy. Each episode explores how she's adapted to challenges, found strength in vulnerability, and embraced her unique path. Her journey is a reminder that resilience and creativity can help us overcome even the toughest obstacles. Follow along to hear Blair's insights, connect with her story, and join a community that celebrates growth and adaptability. Subscribe now to be part of the conversation.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of The Adaptable Octopus. I have the pleasure of meeting with a fellow podcaster. The name of his show is 1,000 Crazy Questions, and his concept is so unique and really got me to thinking. So I'm going to introduce my guest, Houston.
No, thanks, Blair, for having me on. I a little bit about my show. It's interview-based podcast where I ask guests would you rather questions and scenario hypothetical type questions, and it's kind of get to know the purpose of the podcast, get to know the guest like based on how they answer.
Yeah, one thing that you said to me during our conversation, you said one question can lead to a big conversation. I just love that concept. And when people aren't prepared or when something catches them off the guard, they don't have time to think about it and how they're going to look and how they're going to answer. They're more in the moment and with no guards. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah, I think it's very true, and it's why I kind of take the approach I take. And often they're just funny or dumb questions, and then they lead to really deep moment. Those are my favorite times, actually, when I ask, I don't know, would you rather not have to brush your teeth or not take a shower? I don't know, something weird, and then it goes into, oh, well, actually, when I was 6, I always dreamed I wanted to take a shower because my parents thought being stinky was a sin. I don't know, something weird that
Yeah.
I didn't know about. I couldn't have guessed in a million years, but we hit upon something real by accident. And the conversation takes a different turn that you know is going to take. And I like those. I like it when it goes. It's unpredictable. They're not prepared for it. Oftentimes, I'm not prepared for it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, later on in the show, you're going to ask me some crazy questions. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm a little nervous, just FYI. A big thing in my family, and we were talking about it on last week's episode, are proverbs or sayings. And I said how I wasn't that good at it, like remembering what was said. So today I have a proverb to share with y'all, and it says true freedom comes when we're allowed to be fully ourselves.
Yeah.
And like we were talking earlier, when you ask these rapid, crazy questions that lead to these amazing conversations, I just like the thought of them being real in the moment, or the freedom, not the freedom, but the lack of time to build up their walls. And I love that. My computer, guys, I'm running off of a Chromebook that cost me $50, and it's getting hard. It's getting harder and harder. Well, a counseling office that just redid the whole office. I was something like I had the thought or whatever that I should go and ask the manager if I could have computers. And she said, "Well, we do have some. Let me contact the owner and make sure it's okay." And she said, "I'm so glad that you we're able to ask the questions, because you never know until you ask.
Yeah, it's very true. And what I think biblically, it's like ask and ye shall receive too, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, ask, you'll get it. And in my case, I think it's a bit weirder. um,
Mhm.
Asking is it's kind of, as long as I'm allowed to ask and I'll bring within the confines of what someone is willing to answer, I
Mhm.
feel okay asking it. Um, I think okay, not to get off topic, but you've heard of that show Hot Ones, right?
No, I haven't. Could you explain
No.
it to me a little?
Oh, okay. Hot Ones. It's this YouTube channel turned into a big show now. Sean Evans, he hosted. It's a show interview show where he has guests down. He started off with YouTubers and then rappers, and now he's interviewing A-list celebrities. But
Okay.
essentially, he has a plate of hot wings, and they're all doused with hot sauce. It starts at the lowest, it gets to the highest, and you're shaking hip. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. Start
I
off small, yeah.
do.
Yeah, and I love how he breaks through whoever his guest is via the hot sauces on the wings, and he
Mhm.
gets realness for the hot sauce. I respect that. I thought it was a really cool thing, and I didn't try to emulate that with my questions, but I find it's the same tactic. I'm just, instead of burning my guest with hot wings, it's more like the questions open you up a different way. It's a roundabout way to get to what someone really thinks by asking him weird questions.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time. I think I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. So why don't you go ahead and ask me some random questions?
Okay. Uh, this first question. So I heard, I did some homework. I heard some of your podcasts before we even like you set this up, but I did some extra homework, and I was
Okay.
like, okay, uh, let's let's throw her family in here.
Okay.
Would you rather have your son marry someone terrible who you don't like? Um, and I believe from the episode I heard he's in a pretty like healthy relationship, but let's tear that apart and say he
Okay.
finds someone awful,
Okay.
or have to get married within a year. You have to find someone within a year to get married to.
I Okay, so let me get this straight. I know the person he's gonna marry is terrible,
They're
and
awful for him and they're awful to you. They're
they
just terrible. They suck.
or just find do I find the random person for him to marry, or does he find the random person?
They'll find the awful person.
Okay.
Um, in the second part, it's you have to find the random to marry.
Oh, Lord.
Is
I don't know, the thought of marriage just kind of, mm,
sorry,
I
that's why I picked it.
okay, like, I don't ever see myself get married, and I have a lot of people asking me that question, "Do I ever see myself getting married?" No. So, but for my son, absolutely, I would get married just and avoid him
Mhm.
from having pain. So, I would get married
Okay. Okay.
and live in a
Yeah.
duplex or something. So so they could live on one side of the duplex and, I could be fine on my side.
Okay. Okay. That's a good answer. I understand. You're taking the what's it called? Taking the hit, taking a sacrifice for your son. I understand. Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Okay. Um okay. This next one. Okay, you have very strong connections. You have like very loyal and nice friends.
Yes.
I, I wanted to mess with that. Uh would you would you rather lose your relationships with all of your friends in your life? So you'll have to just get new ones. You
Okay.
can keep the family connections, but all your friends
Okay.
start from scratch, or uh, become paralyzed from the neck down.
I would have to get rid of all my friends or become paralyzed. Well, since my show is called The Adaptable Octopus, and I talk about how you adapt and you can adapt and you have a purpose. So I would say keep my friends. and be paralyzed, because you can always relearn how to do stuff. For example, my brother was perfectly normal. Normal is with quotations. And he got hit by a car. And at the age of 16, he became paralyzed. I forgot what side of his body. I think it's the left side. And he had to relearn how to live, or he had to learn how to live paralyzed. And now he is having the best life. He has married with children and working. So, yes, paralyzed.
Yeah. Man, that's a really good answer. And
Yeah.
and I've learned something about your brother that I didn't
Yeah.
know before. Maybe you did mention it, I just missed that. But yeah, in
Yeah.
in a previous episode. But man,
I don't
yeah,
think I have, but
yeah.
so,
Accidentally, we found something.
yes.
Yeah, but really though, that's a great answer. Yeah.
Do you want to do one more question?
I got one. Okay. Do you want
Okay.
a weird one or more of a serious one, open-ended one?
I like a weird one.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you rather have to give up your pet, just like let them loose in the wild? Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I heard him. I heard him before we started recording.
Not dog. Okay.
I love animals, for the record. I love it. I do myself. But would you
Yeah.
rather give them up or move to the other side of the world? And you can take some family if you want, but you have to permanently move to, I don't know, what's opposite of here? Somewhere in Russia or Australia. I don't know.
Well, it's funny because I did pick up a move, and yes, I took my animals. I lived in Germany for almost 2 years, and so I would move across the well,
World.
the world.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Permanently? Okay.
permanently, yeah, permanently. I would, yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And you'd pick Germany?
Oh no, I didn't say I would pick it. I said I've already lived there.
Okay. Okay. But it
I
doesn't matter where you're going. You're not giving up your pet, is what I'm
no,
kind of.
no.
Yeah.
My pet has been there for me. Yeah. So no.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. Go ahead. I keep doing that.
No, you're fine. I was just saying I understand. If I had the same choice, I'd probably pick the same thing. Actually, I think I agree with that one. If they answer that, I would pick the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your animals, your pet, like I mean, a dog specifically, I probably would get rid of a cat. but I cats are okay. People listening, cats can be okay, but 50% of them are evil. Anyway, sorry, Blair, you were saying.
No, I rescued a kitten that lived under the insulation of our house, and I bottle fed the kitten, and the kitten is now a big fat cat, and I still have my cats. I'm not living at that home anymore, but I still have the cat. So
Yeah,
um,
that's cute.
well, I love that, and thank you. And I recommend people listening to your show, and I will link I will link a link to your show in the bio. Is that even right grammar? I will link the link. I don't know. That's what I said. So,
People get it anyway. It'll make sense.
Yeah. Well, is there anything that you are currently working on right now? What are you up to?
Yeah. Right now, I have paused my full length episodes just so I can focus on shorts, for Instagram and YouTube and things like that. Getting into the YouTube space is taking more time with video editing and YouTube videos, which right now I'm just a one-man team. So that's kind of something, but just trying to get into a rhythm and being more disciplined with schedule and consistency are the two things that I'm kind of fighting against right now. And
Mhm.
until I get that like under control, I'm not letting myself go to the full length episodes. So sorry, that was a
Yeah,
mouthful. Right now, I'm
I
working
love
on
it.
shorts. I'm working
Okay.
on shorts until further notice. Yeah.
And I am going to be on his podcast at some point. So I will definitely let you know when that airs, and so you guys can be on the lookout so you can listen to that episode. Well, I really enjoyed you as a guest today. Is there any last, if you had to tell the world one piece of advice, or the audience, the world, the internet land, shall we say, what's one piece of advice that you would give the internet world?
Hmm. I would say, uh, I would say, well, okay, life is getting kind of, at least in America, but also around the world, is getting kind of crazy. Um, Try to enjoy the moments you can when you can, and try not to take everything too seriously. There's enough people doing that for you. And, I
Mhm.
mean, everyone's going to take life seriously. You're living it, but try not to take it too seriously. And,
Yeah.
yeah, I think, and, that's kind of it. Outside of that, whether you know it or not, God loves you.
Yeah, I love that, and I'm gonna leave my friends and my listeners with that, and just remember freedom. True, and I've already forgotten the proverbs, but I'm gonna say it the way I remember it. Freedom comes when we allow ourselves to be who we are, and just remember that. Remember, you're beautiful, you're adaptable, and just keep being resilient.
Thanks for tuning in to the Adaptable Octopus. If you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can listen on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you love to stream. And if you have a moment, leave a review or share the podcast with someone who might enjoy it too. Your support means the world and helps grow this amazing community. Until next time, keep adapting, keep thriving, and take care.